you
Okay.
can go back to it if you have any questions or anything.
Oh, that's great. Great.
Yeah. So, Lori, tell me, why are we on this call?
That's a good question. I feel, okay, I went to a retreat the middle of November, and I have been doing this business uh, since, I don't know, June 2013. That's when I came up with the name, and I felt very led to just start doing something. And so I've had, it took a good year or so for me to even get a couple clients. And last year, it seemed like it was like I would get done with one and another one would show up, just like from my web page. And people just kept like one after another. It was great. And so that gave me some experience. And then it's always been a desire of mine to quit my full-time job and do have something more flexible, and do something I'm passionate about. So I go to this retreat middle of November, and oh my gosh,
Are you
uh,
there?
God just from the first night was 2 hours, and from that very first night, I just felt like this is your time. This is go. It's go time. I don't. I'm just like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, and I honestly don't know how I stumbled on your Facebook page.
Hmm.
Except it was God. I don't know. So I'm like, oh, okay, this looks interesting, and now I'm here. So it's been, it's. I almost want to read to you this poem here. Let me just a second. Let me get it. 'Cause, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is how my Friday night reached. How this is how the retreat started. It was just a weekend. It's called For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue, and it says, "In out of the way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you were ready to emerge. For a long time, it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play in the seduction of safety and the great promises that sameness whispered. Heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered if you would always live like this." This is so true. This is so dead on. When then the delight when your courage kindled and out you stepped into new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be at home with the new rhythm for your soul sense the world that awaits you.
Wow.
Holy, I sat there and it had me, that's what my last, oh gosh, probably 5 years has been like. And it, I cried. It was amazing. So that's probably why I'm here, because it's not that I haven't been doing anything, but I don't know, I haven't really known what else to do to get things moving,
Okay.
into some concrete steps. So, I guess, does that make sense? I guess that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Just,
No, I think that's fantastic, and it's awesome to hear how God has been directing these steps
mm-hmm,
to where you're at now. So,
mm-hmm, yeah.
tell me a little bit about your business,
Um,
because I have a very vague understanding of what you do. I know it has something to do with health and nutrition.
yeah.
But tell me exactly what you do and kind of just remind me of what your business is.
Sure, sure. So what I do a lot like what we're doing. So I haven't done any conference calls yet. It's all been in person. So it's all been local. And I meet with people. I have and I didn't know if part of this session too would be just to look at my website at some point. I don't know. But I have a 1, 3, and 6 month program, and they consist of meeting with the person for 2 1-hour sessions a month. And then in between those, we'll have like a 10 to 15 minute call just to see where people are at. If they need help overcoming some barrier to a goal we set together. And it's really, most of the people have come to me to lose weight. Like the one lady, she was so cute. She just wanted to lose 5 or 10 pounds. She wasn't feeling comfortable and just kind of wanted to not go any farther and just see, have someone look at her diet and say, oh yeah, maybe if you do this or that, add more protein, or, start working out, when can you do that? So really it's just coaching them, looking at their lifestyle. And I cannot, now I'm a dietetic technician, so I cannot do specific meal plans as far as, you should eat, 60 grams of protein a day for your situation, and that's some carbs, or help with diseases. If you have heart disease, I can't prescribe a diet for you. That's a registered dietitian. So I'm limited. That's the other thing. I've got this scope of practice I have to stay within to do all this in. But so like this person, this man that I'm working with, he signed up for 3 months. His doctor said, you almost died. You need to lose weight, right? And he's on all these prescriptions, but I'm helping him. I mean, like the first thing he wanted to do is, I need to think of food differently. Oh, awesome. I can do that, So I'm reading a book called Think and Eat Yourself Smart by Dr. Carolyn Leaf. And I have it right here. She is a Christian neuroscientist. And she literally she describes, like take every thought, capture every thought captive. And she will explain what that means in the brain and the mind and everything, and how it actually works. It's really,
Wow.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very cool. So one of my assignments right now is to read that book, to finish it. That's what the Lord wants me to do right now. And I'm like, oh, I see why. Because I really want to make everything I do on this. He's kind of twisting it. And part of what I'm wondering is, do I want to make this a Christian-based business? It's an option. Like this man I'm working with, he's a Christian, so we pray, like we did today, and I let the Holy Spirit guide, and so I want to do that, and that would be an awesome thing for me. But I also try to fill some stuff out, but that's pretty much it. And I can also do grocery store tours, look at someone's pantry and make suggestions. You might want to swap, something healthier for what you have in here, or get rid of it. Just if it's a temptation, get rid of it, So there's a lot of different, there's a lot of other services I can provide that way. And I am working on writing, I have an outline for a 6 to 8 week workshop that I would eventually like to do in person first, and then see how that goes. And then maybe take it, like what you're doing. I'm having a group of maybe 10 people and doing a workshop online or something like that. to walk people through.
So let me
So
ask you, what are some of the, because you mentioned the very first thing you said was, oh, I help people lose weight. And that's huge. That's a big accomplishment because so many people in America specifically want to lose weight, me included, right? I could lose 15 pounds myself. So do you have case studies? Do you have like a proven track record that you can help someone lose weight?
Well, that's the thing. There's I haven't documented things really well because people have been mostly seeing me for about a month and then they're done. I mean, it hasn't been big cases yet. So, I did help a family, couple families as well, just to get them a head start on the moms would contact me and just want me to look at what they're serving, for dinner and look at their schedules and kind of help them tweak their schedule a little bit to fit in time to meal prep, give them recipes. And so that's been kind of general. So the one lady, she lost 5 pounds and she was thrilled, and it took her a month because she just wanted to tweak it, and she was great. So that one, yes, I do have, but it was small. And another lady, pretty much the same thing. It was successful, but only a month. So I feel like this 3-month program, and I have another lady too who wants to work with me. Coming up, I think next week we have a call. I felt like the Lord said, I want you to document everything. So I am taking really good notes, and he's really motivated and he's excited to, he almost died. So he's excited to start making some changes. So yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah. Really
I was just asking a question.
Yeah. No, so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
So you mentioned you have a couple of documented cases. Do you have you helped people, documented or not? Have you helped them lose weight? Like you have a record of helping people lose weight?
I have, yes.
How many?
Well, I've got the two so far, and then one lady, she was doing really well and she was motivated, and she kind of just like went away. And I said, okay. So she was doing really well. So I probably have a definite 2. And then the other people, I was working with families, they were families I was working with to kind of get the family on board and say, what are we eating? Let's stop and think about this, and what can we do to improve our health?
How have you gotten those clients in the past?
You know what? They saw my website. The thing is, I feel like my SEO right now is not that great, and I don't know how they found me. There was, I was also on a website called Health Profs, and I think they found me through that too. Now I'm going to get back on there because I let that lapse because I wasn't sure if that's how they were finding me. It's only $30 a month, and it was, and also I needed to regroup. So I think once I get some of this content, after I know the direction I want to go, and get some content on that again.
So I'm still getting a really laggy. Well, now you're frozen, so I don't know if you're even hearing me. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video.
I am.
Oh, there you are. Can you hear me?
There.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the video because sometimes the
Yeah,
video
I
portion.
can kind of hear you. Uh-huh.
Let's go ahead and stop the video just because the video can take so much power from the computer and from the internet. So we'll just go audio. Let's just see if that works.
Okay.
So go ahead and on the very bottom, there should be a start video, stop
Mute
video.
my.
You see it?
Oh, yep.
Awesome. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So now I should be able to hear you clearly. It was kind of cutting it in and out, and so, but now I can hear you. Okay.
Okay, good.
So
Hear you. Okay.
you were talking about the fact that they found you on a website. You don't know if it was yours or Health Prof, and that the you were going to go back to Health Prof, and then it kind of cut out from there.
Yes. I could, what I'd like to do, I think, I did get some traffic, but a lot of it also, the reason I stopped for a while is a lot of it, they were looking for a registered dietitian. And even though I don't say I am one on there, they were coming to me with some pretty big problems that I just am not qualified to work with. And I thought, is this worth it? So, yeah, so I think once I get more of a foundation and more clarity on my niche, then I will open myself back up to that. Because, yeah, it was pretty inexpensive, and it did give me a lot of exposure. Yeah.
So let me ask you, what is your biggest challenge right now? What's holding you back from making enough money to be able to quit your 9-to-5? And I'm not sure if you've quit or not, but to be able to,
No.
So to be able to quit your 9-to-5 and for you to feel comfortable with the amount of money you are making and the amount of clients you have.
What is holding me back? Maybe that is the big question. I think I think I'm stumped. I have so many ideas. I think I just need to act on them and see what happens. But then it's kind of a catch-22, and I know you worked full-time, I think, as well, and did, and while you could. Part of it is, and actually this is a perfect time in my life to be doing this, but it is hard, and we've said this in Growth Buddies, when you come home from work, you just kind of need to, decompress for a while, and you have to make sure that, okay, I'm going to give myself 45 minutes, make some dinner or whatever, and then get to it. And I just need to, and there's a fear. I'm just going to put out there's fear. I don't know exactly what of, but fear. Like, I really want to do Facebook Live. I have so many ideas for it, and I just need to do it. And it could be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But, do I do it from my computer? Do I do it from my phone? So a lot of things are holding me back technology-wise, just because I don't know how some stuff works. And I don't really have anyone to just sit here and show me. My son will help me sometimes, but he's busy also. And, so I don't know.
So I'm hearing a little bit of, this sense of, I know what to do, I just need to do it. And this also side of, I have no idea what to do. What do I do?
Right. Or how to do it. sometimes it's the mechanics of, like I asked you during that group call, how do I do a landing page? Well, I'll look at, once I get more content, I'm going to look at lead pages and ClickFunnels. When I have something actually to promote. So those, I think I can, and I'm not totally technically void of anything, because I have to do some stuff at work, which is really helping, actually. I'm glad. I've had to figure stuff out at work because I work for a small company. So.
Well, let me ask you this.
No.
Let's say 3 years pass and you give me a call and you say, Sean, thank God we spoke at 3:30 that Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God we spoke about X, Y, and Z because we spoke about that stuff. I am now living the life I've always wanted to live. I have the clients. I'm not afraid of the tech. I know how to do the tech. I know how to make money, how to generate leads. Because we talked about X, Y, and Z. 3 years from now, what would X, Y, and Z be?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that.
And let me preface this first by saying, Lori, I am so excited to be on this call with you because I want you to understand how safe, how honest, how transparent you can be.
Okay.
If there's a fear and if there's something you don't want to talk about, that's probably what we should talk about. If there's something that is holding you back, but you're kind of insecure about talking about it, or if there's something that you just don't understand, it's totally safe to say, Sean, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm here to serve you incredibly and powerfully. And I want to make sure that that prayer that I prayed in the very beginning comes true, that you feel confident, that you're able to lift your head up high, your shoulders back, and that you know exactly what to do next. So, So I want to kind of preface that by saying, whatever you say, it's okay with me.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I think 3 things. I guess that's why it's part of the reason I'm on the call is what, and I'm sitting here kind of praying, God, what is it? What, give me a lot of times I ask him for a word just to describe what's going on. I know fear is it. Fear of success, fear of failure, which doesn't make a lot of sense. And I feel like, I'm at work anymore and I just want to be home working on this stuff. But I'm single right now. My kids are grown and they really don't. I'm really just supporting myself, which is amazing. And it's, like I said, this is really financially the best time of my life to be doing this. But I can't just quit. I don't,
Yeah. And I don't think you should.
Yeah.
Not at all. Before I made the decision to completely quit, I went part-time. And what that means is that instead of working 40 hours, I work 36 hours so that I can commit 4 extra hours. And then once I replaced those 4 hours of income, I took 4 more hours away. And I worked with an organization that was willing to work with me in regards to transitioning out. So you don't have to at all say like, I quit next week or anything like that.
Yeah.
Take it slow. Understand your season. Right now, it sounds like you really need to build the foundation of your business.
Yes.
Because I asked, a little bit of tell me a little bit about your business. And you told me maybe like 7 different things.
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't feel like you really have a good grasp of what your business really is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And how you can build something to scale.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, I
Right.
could be wrong, but you tell me.
No, yeah. Build something to scale. That's perfect. What I try to do is get to the bottom of what people, you look at their past history with food and where they're at now, where they want to go, and help, guide them step by step, building on changing habits one at a time so that, you eventually reach your goal
Hmm.
of changing your lifestyle. And I would absolutely love to have it be Christian based, but I get different feedback from people like, well, that's great, but you might um, discount some other people who could use your help,
Hmm.
even though you're coming at it from a Christian perspective, but you don't necessarily have to blare that out to everybody, but you could help them with your background, your Christian
Mm-hmm.
background, and that's your thought process.
Yeah, so that's one of the most common questions I get, specifically
Yeah.
from Christian entrepreneurs is, am I only supposed to work with Christians? And this is a question that I had when I first got started. And there are 2 kind of perspectives and positions that you can have with it. Is
Yeah.
one, you can be exclusively Christian and only work with Christians. And then 2, you can work with both. And neither of them are wrong. I specifically have designed my work to be only to work with Christians
Hmm.
in my coaching practice. But I also work with people like Damon John, who isn't a Christian,
Hmm.
Eric Rees, who founded the Lean Startup Process, who isn't a Christian, and I do some consulting work with them, and they're not Christian. And I use my business as a ministry, which means
Right.
that I have an outreach and an inreach. So my
Hmm.
inreach, the way I empower my fellow brothers and sisters, the church even, at times when I'm working with different churches and different ministries, is through my business. But I also do outreach with my ministry or my business when working with non-Christians. And I let my faith shine bright. I don't
Yes.
specify Jesus or my faith or anything like that. But if something gets brought up, I am more than willing to share, about my faith, about my testimony, about my story. And so you can,
Yeah.
this is what I say, is work with both.
Hmm.
Empower the church and outreach to the unchurched.
Yes. I agree. Okay. I love it.
And so it sounds a little bit like you also need some answers in regards to how to build this business online. Because you mentioned a little bit
Yeah.
about websites and
Uh-huh.
SEO and different things like that.
Hmm.
Let me ask you, and you can say, I have no idea, or you can say, I know a little bit, or whatever. Do
Okay.
you know how to build an online coaching business?
Mm. I would have a few ideas just based on me working with coaches.
Hmm.
Because I feel like it's the same type of format
Hmm.
that could work successfully that way.
Hmm.
And here's the other thing. I think in order to maintain a steadier income, I can't work one-on-one with people. I really don't think so, and make enough to support myself. I also need um, to work with groups, I would imagine.
Hmm.
And I also, here's another thing I was hoping to get today is um, how to make some residual income where you get something set up and it kind of takes care of itself. I
Mhm.
mean, that's a huge one because, yeah. But yes, online is the way to go because you're just going to reach more people that way.
Yeah. So let me kind of answer something, and then I'm going to give you an overview of how every single the structure or the skeleton of every single online business that's successful, how it works. How does
Okay.
that sound?
That's awesome.
Okay. So first thing is you mentioned not working with one-on-one clients. I still work with one-on-one clients, and I charge $1,200 to work one-on-one with me. And I get on a call with people. And this is for, I should reframe this. This is for people who aren't Christian. I have a discount for faith-based individuals because I want to make sure that I'm making that as accessible as possible because that's where I like to work. But this is for secular, business-oriented things. I charge $1,200 a month, and I get on a call with someone every other week. And I spend 1 to 2 hours with them depending on what they need. And that's peer coaching. So if I had 10 clients at $1,200 a month, that gets me to 6 figures.
Yeah.
Right. And that gets you to 6 figures. So it's incredibly possible for you to work one-on-one and make, I mean, I don't know how much money you're making right now that you need to supplement with an online business, but you can charge high prices. And there's a way to develop your business so that you start low. When I first started, I charged $50 a month.
I'm sorry, how much was that?
50.
Okay.
I charged $50 a month. Now that's crazy. That's like, I look back and think, why, what? But at that point, I needed that. And every single time I got a new client, I just raised it by $100.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the first client I ever had was $50 a month. The second one was $150. The third one was $250, and it just kind of grew from there until I'm at the point where I'm at now. So
that's great.
You can work one-on-one with people online and make a ton of money. I know several people who've done it. The group coaching and kind of all of that stuff, that's awesome as well. I mean, I have Growth Buddies, and Growth Buddies is about $300 a month, which is great, but I don't profit from any of that. The whole reason why I created Growth Buddies is because I wanted to build a budget for Facebook ads that I'm going to be doing for my book. That's the whole purpose. Obviously, it's a huge need in the community. It's really affordable. And so I created this simply to create a budget for that. But let me kind of give you the skeleton, and it's really basic and really simple. And it sounds like you have a really good understanding of what you're good at and what you can do. Yeah. And I think it's going to be really helpful for you. So there's 4 ways to create four steps or 4 layers, if you will. The first layer is to have one offer, just one. And this is called your core offer. This is the thing that you are known for in your community. The all-inclusive, comprehensive, high-priced offer that you are best at delivering, that meets your audience's number one needs. This is where you're going to make the bulk of your online wealth. Now, this could be a product. If you are into products, as a coach, it's probably a course, a program, or a membership site. Yes. And this is just one offer that you make to literally everyone, every single person. Now, I know people who charge for their offers, $3,000 broken up into 7-month payment plans or whatever the case is. But this is just one offer, your core offer. Now, your core offer, excuse me. Sorry. So your core offer is, the core principle of building a successful business is that you must sell something people need, that they want, right? You sell something that people want. That's your core offer, selling them exactly what they want. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing that you told me right up front was, I help people lose weight. Somebody lost 5 pounds, somebody lost, I had a whole family lose some weight. You know, I mean, your whole thing, the whole premise of what you do is you help people lose weight.
Yeah.
And the whole process of doing that, whether that's going through their pantry, whether that's through coaching, whether that's through, dietary suggestions and different things like that, the whole process is up to you, but your core offer is what you're known for, and what you want to be known for is, I help people lose weight.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what you build your entire business around, because it's, like I said, this is the go-to solution for every single lead, every single client, everything. I will help you lose weight, and I'll help you get healthy, eat the right things, and enjoy life. So you're not going to, and I would not use the term diet, because diets, everyone hates a diet. I hate diets, right? Nobody loves diets. So I would say, we're not going to diet, but I'm going to make sure you're eating the right things and you're still loving life. You're not hating yourself because you have to eat broccoli all day, every day, right?
Right. Yes.
Now, a very good core offer has a incredibly clear before and after story. So let me give you an example. Before I joined Growth Buddies, I had no one to talk to about my challenges. I had no community around me where I could just be honest, and I had no accountability system put in place. That's the before. After I invested in Growth Buddies, though, I met new people. I enjoy working on my business because I know I'm not alone anymore, and I have people to coach me one-on-one in a group setting, and even just through email and messenger whenever I need it.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a clear before and there's a clear after with a core offer. Now, Growth Buddies isn't my core offer, but your core offer could be that 6-month program that you create. And before joining Lori's, lose 5 pounds a month or whatever you name it, before I joined Lori's core offer, I was on the verge of dying. My doctor said I had to do something or else I wouldn't live, another year or two, or whatever the case. Things would just continue to get worse. I felt sluggish. I hated getting it up in the morning. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I was always anxious. I felt out of control over my body. I didn't have anyone to talk to who understood my needs. But after I spoke with Lori, she understood exactly what I needed. She gave me the exact suggestions that I should follow. She helped me figure out how to lose weight and still love life. At all the afters. And you can make this list. And what I would suggest for you is create this list. What are these people that you've worked with or that you want to work with? What is their before? And here are a couple questions to ask. How do they feel before working with you? What does their average day look like before working with you? What's some of the thoughts they have before working with you?
Yeah.
And what are some of the challenges, limitations that they have before working with you?
Yeah.
And then what I would do is I would go to every single person you've worked with and I'd ask them, what was it like before you worked with me? I'd go to people who are in a situation, maybe they're overweight, maybe they're, people and just ask them, what's life like right now? If you were to be able to lose 10 pounds, what kind of things would go away? What challenges would you have now that would go away if you were the perfect body shape that you want to be? And then they'll be able to tell you exactly what they want to hear. I'll be able to fit in those jeans that I could wear when I was 20. I'll be able to feel good going to the beach or going to the pool. I'll be able to take my shirt off and not look at the gut that I have, on my tummy or whatever the case. I'll be able to stare in the mirror longer than a split second because I get insecure every single time I look. They're going to tell you some real stuff, right? That's your before. And that's what you market. That's what you talk about. And then you make the solution
look, here's those are the challenges. Here's the dream. And this is the result that I'm going to get you. After working through my program, this is what you're going to get. X, Y, and Z. You're not going to feel this way anymore. You're not going to feel this. You're actually going to have energy in the morning. You're going to be able to wake up at 6 a.m. and just go, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let me give you a couple more examples just to kind of help. So these are from 2 clients that I have currently. So before I invested in Reneka's Healthy, Happy Marriage course, I felt stuck with a husband that never said he loved me, depressed that things would never change, and feared divorce was inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
Now my husband can't keep his hands off me. Everyone notices how we treat each other, how different we treat each other, and I couldn't be happier.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Reneka. Right? It's like a testimony.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Before I purchased Susan's Survivor's Guide to Menopause, I felt so scared of my own body. I had no idea what was happening to me or who I was turning into, and I thought things would never be the same. Now I finally have control over my weight. I have confidence to handle my mood swings, and I understand exactly what's happening with my body. I'm a menopause survivor. Thanks, Susan.
Yeah.
So there's a clear before and a clear after.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that's great.
So defining these is going to help you define what you do, because your current clients or your current potential clients are in that before state.
Yes.
The result that you give them is the after state. How you get them there, that's your core offer.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So whether you're coaching them, whether that's coaching for 6 months, a pantry makeover, a store tour. Oh, that's kind of cool. Store tours. It reminds me of Star Wars for some reason. But anyways, right. A store tour and weekly checkups, and suggested diet, suggested meal plans, not enforced meal plans or anything, just what you would do if you were them.
Mm-hmm.
That's your core offer right there. And you can charge, let's say it's a family experience, a whole family thing. You can charge, say, $1,200 altogether for that, and say it's $100 a month.
Yeah.
Right. And the more people who join, the more money you're going to make, obviously. So let's say you had 10, that's $1,000 a month for 12 months that you can rest assured is going to come in.
Now, here's a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
If it's $1,200 for a program, how are you, if you're doing it, I guess you just get a credit card and you just keep charging on it, right?
So,
I'm always,
I used, it's the same thing as Growth Buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
You submitted your credit card. And now the program that I use is Stripe. It's a free program. It only charges you every single time there's a transaction. So every single time you pay $17, I get $16.80, I think, of it, because it charges 20 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
There's a percentage. But it's a free, you don't have to, it's like no monthly payment or anything like that.
Oh.
And all I did, and all you can do is create this form and, or send them a button. You can use Stripe to send them like a payment button, and it'll take them through the whole process.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it's called a subscription. So they submit their ATM information, and then Stripe does it automatically. So they'll charge it for you automatically every single month, and you don't have to worry about it.
Wow. And it's all secure, obviously.
It's all secure, and it transfers directly into your bank account through direct deposit. I think it's every 5 days. So let's say you get paid, or I'm sorry, not every 5 days, but 5 days after a deposit has been made or a payment has been made. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's called Stripe.
Stripe, STRIPE.com.
Yeah. .com.
You
Fantastic.
could also use PayPal. PayPal does the same thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I like Stripe simply because PayPal was having a little bit of issues technically with me, and
Mhm.
I didn't want to handle it or deal with it, and Stripe's just really awesome. But they both do the same thing. So
Because I have a PayPal business account
okay,
to take credit cards. So
yeah,
I do that. Yeah.
yeah, and that's how you do it. You just do a subscription based payment through PayPal
Cool. Or Stripe.
or Stripe. Yeah.
That's super. Okay.
So now your next step then would be to develop what this core offer is. Exactly what's included in this core offer, whether that's, a questionnaire, an orientation session, group coaching every other week, suggested meal plans, the store tours. And all you have to do, you don't have to be in person to do that. You can pre-record a store tour and go through every single aisle and then simply give that to them on the third week.
Yeah. Right.
And so it's all pre-recorded, pre-done, and you can do a pantry makeover with someone, maybe do 3 different pantry makeovers, and think of it as like an episode, a TV episode that you simply give to them on the second week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, okay, I'm going through 3 houses, through their pantries, and you can do it with me. Put your phone as you're watching this on your phone or your computer or your laptop, put it in the pantry with you. And as I go through their pantry, go through yours as well. And, this is where you encourage them. Look, you're not going to want to throw some things away, but as you see, I'm going to throw theirs away. You can do it too.
Yeah. Right. I like that.
And there you're touching on the emotional aspect of their before.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Right.
So you have your core offer, and that's the one thing you're known for, the number one thing you're known for. So think, have you heard of Dan Henry?
No.
Okay, so his thing that he's known for is Facebook ads. He has one course. He this year, not 2017, I'm sorry, in 2016, in 6 months, he made over $1 million from this one course. Wow. And he's known for Facebook ads for entrepreneurs. If you've heard of Selena Sue.
Yes, I don't know why.
The only thing she does is publicity. The number one thing she has is a course on how to get publicity for your business.
Wow.
That's her one thing, and I believe she made $750,000 last year.
Wow. And it's all at that point automated. I mean, because
a lot of it is automated, and now what she does, she's been doing this for 3 years. She simply sends all the pre-recorded stuff every single week. She doesn't do anything anymore because it's all pre-done, and all she does is coaching sessions now. So if you sign up, she'll have 50 people sign up at $2,000 or $3,000 for the whole program, and then she'll send the pre-recorded stuff that she recorded 3 years ago, and then she'll do a weekly 1-hour call. So she literally works maybe 4 hours a week.
That's fantastic.
Right. So
right.
Now it takes time to build to that, right?
Exactly.
But the number one thing that you want to do is just one core offer. Figure out what do you want to be known for and what do you want to tell every single person you come in contact with.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
So that's just the first step or first layer. The second layer, so the first layer is your core offer.
Okay.
The second layer is your tripwire. Now let me explain what that is. A tripwire is you can consider Growth Buddies to be a tripwire. So a tripwire is the easiest yes someone can give if they're a potential client for you. So for example, it's a low priced product or service Think
Mhm.
anything below $20 that you offer to your potential lists, your potential leads, potential clients. And it's an easy, it can be an impulsive yes for them. It's an easy yes for them. For example, Digital Marketer has this whole library of content that they sell for $1. Just $1. The reason why they do that is they know that once you sign up, you're going to absolutely love it. And then you're going to sign up for the premium content, which is, I think, $300.
Right.
But especially if you're doing stuff online, people need to build trust to be able to give you $1,200 or $3,000, right? There has to be trust built before they say, oh yeah, I'm going to give you, $3,000.
Right.
And the way you build trust is by selling them something super low. So they know if I give you money, I get something in return. I can trust that transaction, that relationship. And so a tripwire is simply to build that relationship with someone, to turn someone into a buyer really easily. So for you, and usually what this is splintered off from your core offer. So your core offer is all inclusive, but your tripwire is just one thing from that core offer. So maybe it's a store tour that you sell for $3, right? A video on, a 2-hour video going through the entire store on what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy, what you should look out for, what you shouldn't look out for in every single food category there is, right?
Yeah.
You sold that for $3. That's an easy yes. Like, heck yeah, I'm going to do that. $3. And then what you do is it's called upselling, is you upsell them because it's a higher price. So you're going up, and simply saying, if you thought this was amazing, you're going to love this. And that's your core offer.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Now the $3 that you made from the tripwire, you don't keep that. What you do with that is you put that into Facebook ads.
Sure.
The
Okay.
whole point of a tripwire is to build an advertising budget. Growth Buddies for me is a tripwire. And it's going to lead to my core offer, which is a membership site that I'm working on and developing. That goes through everything I'm telling you right now, goes through it in incredible detail and guides someone from having nothing planned to having everything planned and feeling really good about their business. So the tripwire is something like Growth Buddies. The core offer is this membership site or this course training module process. And one part of that core offer of my membership site is going to be accountability. So I splintered that off and sold it incredibly cheap.
Yeah. Right. That's just one aspect. Now, do you have, you could do this with about 3 of your aspects then.
Yeah, so you can have as many tripwires as possible. You can splinter your whole core offer and offer them all individually. And then once somebody buys that one thing, then you upsell them. But you don't sell them all to one person, right? Because then they'll all buy everything for $3. You simply advertise one thing, and then say a month later, you advertise the next thing for $3, but you don't offer the other one. The other one's not available anymore. Just this one thing, for $3 or $7 or $9 or whatever. Because if you just try to sell the same thing, people are going to get tired of that one thing. And so splintering your core offer and selling those things incredibly affordably makes it easier for them to say, oh, well, this was really good. What you get to do is you get to develop this relationship with these potential customers, and you get to turn them into buyers and demonstrate value, right? Which is incredibly important. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So everything stems from your core offer. From your core offer, you decide what your tripwire is going to be. From your tripwire, you splinter your tripwire off and you create something called a lead magnet. Now, I'm sure you've heard of that term. Everyone's heard of that term online. But a
Yes.
lead magnet is splintered from your tripwire and is offered for free. So
Okay.
your tripwire is, let's say it's the store tour. What your lead magnet can be is a checklist of things to look out for.
Oh.
Right? Something super simple.
That-
So
a checklist of things to buy at the store, for example.
that, or a checklist of, let's say a checklist of the things you should eat in a week to lose weight, or a checklist of the things like chemicals to look out for, right?
Yes.
And what they are, why they're unhealthy, kind of an easy thing.
Yeah.
So what your store tour would include, but create something from that and offer it for free. And then what you do is it's simply upselling and upselling. So from your lead magnet, let's say this free checklist that you offer people, they usually opt in. Now, I don't know, do you have an email list? Do you do any type of email marketing?
You know what? I don't have enough right now. That is what I know I need to do that. That's one of my goals.
Do you have an opt-in right now? Like, do you collect email addresses?
I do have some, but I probably have like 10.
That's okay. No, that's totally fine, Lori. Don't worry. So how do they opt in? On your website?
Yeah, I have some contact forms on my website. So if you're, I have it on almost every page.
Okay. Is that through MailChimp or Aweber or?
No, what it is, I have a GoDaddy website, which I'm not exactly thrilled about. There's other ones that are so much cooler, but I've invested so much time and money into this right now. But, so from GoDaddy, there's a form that you can have. So they put in their name and email with some comments, and then that goes to my Gmail account, and then I get the notice that way.
I see. Okay. So what you do is essentially your lead magnet, the whole purpose of the lead magnet is to collect an email address.
Yes.
That's the whole purpose of a lead magnet. So it's to say, I will give you this free checklist of the deadly chemicals that's in your food and what to look out for, or whatever, and I'll give that to you for free if you give me your email address.
Right.
Yes. And then what you do is you send them, hey, here's your lead magnet. Did you also know that you can get for $3 this 2-hour store tour or this 1-hour store tour or whatever, right? And immediately get them to say yes to it.
Yes, right.
And then at the end of your store tour, and even in the beginning, during the store tour, you can say, talk about your core offer. So it's all leading up to one thing, which is your core offer.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, that is something. Now, see, I worked with she retired, just retired at the end of 2016. But I was working with she was actually a nutrition entrepreneur business coach. How more specific can you get than that? It was really cool. Right. So I'm still on her Facebook page. She said she was going to keep that open for a while. And she had different levels of membership that you could join. So see, I'm getting all these ideas from her. But yeah, she had what I always thought they were called white papers or something. But yeah, she would offer, go to my site. I have a free paper on this and that. And so cool. And then, yeah, and it worked for me because then I was like, well, she puts a lot of content in there. And so when she offered this one Facebook membership, I thought, well, I can afford that per month. And she's got a ton of information. And I really feel like I got a lot of value out of it. Yeah.
And what she did was she demonstrated value.
She did.
And proved that she can yield a result.
Yes, she did. She was awesome.
Yeah.
But that has always been my question. How Yeah. So MailChimp, is that something?
So I think MailChimp has like a free option.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to kind of play with it, you can totally do that. I personally use Aweber just because I love it. It's like $20 a month. And so, I mean, you can use whatever you're going to use. But what I would suggest is slow down and not rush in to a new program or a product or anything until you have your core offer down.
Yes,
Don't
exactly.
even think about your lead magnet or your tripwire or anything like that. I'm
Okay.
giving this to you so you know where you're going.
Yeah.
But until you have your core offer down, because remember, your core offer is going to be the one thing that you focus your entire business around.
Yeah.
So if you can nail this core offer, your tripwire is going to come really easy. Your lead magnet's going to come really easy. And then the next step, which I'll get into, is going to come really easy as well. Or the last layer.
It makes so much sense.
So tell me, is this helpful? Is this helping in any way, shape, or form?
Yes, it is. Yes, it's giving me some clarity here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
So the last layer, the first layer is your core offer. The second layer is your tripwire.
Mm-hmm.
The third layer is your lead magnet. The last layer is extraordinary content. And this is what you do to demonstrate value for free without needing an email address. This is where somebody can just Google you, you can give this to someone, and this is absolutely for free.
Mm.
This is blog content.
Oh, okay.
Video content.
Mm-hmm.
This is podcasts. This is anything you can get absolutely 100% for free.
Okay.
Right. So let's say you did Facebook Live. That would be extraordinary content. You'd be developing content that somebody can access for free.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this is what you do to attract people into the funnel that we just built.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because extraordinary content is going to bring them, and it's going to build traffic and attention to you. And then once you have their attention, that's when you give them the lead magnet for free. That's when you've captured their attention, and you can give them the tripwire. And then you've captured their information, and you've made them a buyer. And that's when you offer them the core offer.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking YouTube videos even.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen
YouTube
so many
videos.
Yeah.
Now this is half of my book is on extraordinary content, because the one thing that I see with the number one mistake that I see most people do is they have a core offer, they have a lead magnet, they have a tripwire, but they have horrible content. And their big challenge they think is, I don't have traffic. I need people to see my stuff. I need people to see my core offer. But the reality is that traffic is never the issue. The issue is content, and they just don't have really great content. So my suggestion, there are several different ways you can do really great, extraordinary content. What's really working right now, the number one way, or the number one type of content that's working right now is two. One, case studies, and two, how-tos, how-to articles or how-to videos.
Yes.
This is why. Extraordinary content has 4 qualities. And I'll give you those right now.
Okay.
So the first one is it's well crafted. So it's well thought out. You've thought about this content. You've spent some really great time on it. This isn't something you just kind of whipped up in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You really thought, okay, what am I going to say? What challenge am I going to overcome? How am I going to write this or talk about this or record this?
It's really well crafted.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is that it's expert, which means there is two elements to it: data and specificity. So data immediately makes you an authority. If I told you, for example, football is the best sport ever. Okay, that's an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But if I said Stanford, Harvard, and MIT just did a study that showed 87% of Americans more rated football at an 8, 9, or 10 in a 1 to 10 scale, and that they were willing to spend more money at football games than any other game, I immediately position myself as an expert, as an authority figure, right? Because I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Data does that. Data immediately validates an opinion and gives weight to your perspective. So let's say you're in the store and you're doing the store tour, right? Or you're going live and you're talking about losing weight. Doing a quick Google search for some data on how many Americans want to lose weight, how many Americans are overweight, how many calories do Americans eat every single day, you know? You're the expert. So kind of, if you can find data to back up what you're saying, you immediately become an expert. And it doesn't have to be your own data. It can be statistics from research, which you can access for free on Google. It can be examples or case studies from other professionals. So let's say you know of a health coach who's doing really successful work. Use one of their case studies. Like Jen lost 20 pounds using Jenny Craig. So it's possible, right? So you can use other examples and other case studies. You can use quotes from experts and professional media. So Fox News has said this, or CNN has said that, whatever the case is. And then obviously your own measured results. So in my own experience, I've seen X, Y, and Z. And you saw me use that a little bit when I was advertising Growth Buddies. When I said, I've coached over 200 people last year, these were the results. This is the number one challenge I heard over and over again. That was simply me using data, my own measured results. And then specificity. So when you are incredibly specific, it gives people a clear understanding of what they're getting by investing time in your content. So let me give you kind of an example on some articles that are titled. So the first one is a free webinar on love and marriage. Okay. The second article is how 7 couples rekindled their bedroom romance in just 1 week without spending a dime. Which one's more specific?
That second one.
The second one, obviously. And it tells you exactly what you're getting when you're reading the article. Right? Here's another example. Why you have back pain. That's an article. The next one is 9 chiropractors discuss your number one complaint about morning back pain and the 3 things you can do every night to prevent it.
Wow.
The second one's obviously more specific, and it tells you exactly what you're getting. The last example is how to make money online. All right, that's a great article. The second one is how James made his first $1,000 in 3 days from what he learned in Growth Buddies. Which one sounds more specific?
Right.
Right. So you know exactly what you're getting. So when you're doing Facebook Live, when you're doing things like that, think specific. How can I write an article, or how can I go live and talk about a very specific thing, using data and using kind of, all of these qualities. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's very much more intriguing
Mhm.
and gives a lot of credential, the credit.
Yeah, it builds. I mean, it builds instant authority with you, Lori. And the
Yeah.
number one thing you need to do when you're online is you need to demonstrate your authority. You need to know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because then people will believe you're not just another quote unquote health coach. Because there's
Yeah.
so many out there, but you're
I
someone who
know.
actually knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The third quality is it's transformational, which means it's result oriented. So if if it helps someone change their behavior, give them a deeper insight, or make them feel something, then your content's going to be awesome. People are going to go back to it over and over. So for example, I used to do this, but since I watched Lori's store tours, I now do that. That's a behavioral change that you're helping someone make.
Mm.
Or like I said, it's a deep insight. So before, I used to believe this. After watching Lori, I now believe this, right?
Yeah.
So that's an intellectual kind of change, or
Mm-hmm.
emotional. I
Yeah.
felt sad about my body. I felt insecure. But now, after watching this Facebook Live, I feel happier now. I feel more confident. I feel content.
Mm-hmm.
There's an emotional change there.
Yeah.
So if you can create content that is that focuses on results, on changing someone,
Yep.
behaviorally, intellectually, or emotionally, that's going to be awesome.
Now, when you say that, are these testimonies from people, or these are things? This is something I say. This is feedback I've gotten from
So
clients.
this is the lens that you're viewing your content. So when you're going to go Facebook Live, you're thinking the purpose of this Facebook Live is to change this behavior or to make them feel this way. This is what you're thinking. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
So like if I'm going to go on Facebook Live, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to talk to people who feel sad and I want them to feel happier.
Yeah.
The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to talk about how about my own testimony and how I went from an abusive childhood to a totally confident public speaker in 7 years, and the 3 steps that I took, right? I'm being specific now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also going to put some real thought into what I'm going to say. I'm going to spend time on this, and I'm not just going to go Facebook Live randomly, but I'm really going to spend some time on developing this story or this message.
Right.
So this is the thoughts that you're having.
Okay. In building that content.
In building extraordinary content, yeah.
Yes.
Now, remember, this extraordinary content should always lead to your core offer. So if your core offer is, I'm going to help you lose weight in, 27 days, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The content that you're writing should demonstrate value so that they want that core offer.
Right.
So if you created how-tos or case studies, remember, those are the 2 most successful types of content that I'm personally seeing online right now. If you can say, what I would suggest you do is I would say work with 10 people absolutely for free or for incredibly incredibly inexpensive.
Mm-hmm.
Make it $10 a month, something really inexpensive. Get those case studies.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are your 10 case studies.
Yeah.
And then you talk about how they felt, what their average day was, etc. And then all you talk about is their after. Now they're here, they're here, they're here, they're here. If you want that same story, if you want that same result, check out Core Offer.
Right.
So your free content, your free extraordinary content is leading to the core offer.
These results. Check out my core offer here. Wow. Okay. Oh, it don't make sense. And you know, I've been sucked into so many of these too. So
yeah. We all have.
yeah, I've seen, and I shouldn't say it that way because it's actually given me value. I have to say they've been all the ones, they have been really great.
If I go to a website, I know immediately if this is someone who understands this process or not.
I bet, yes.
Because I can see, okay, this is going to lead to a core offer, or I can see this person has no idea what they're writing about or why they're even creating this content. They think, well, I should blog because everyone else is blogging and you're just supposed to. But they don't know that it's supposed to lead to a core offer, just one product or service or whatever.
Because well, that would be me right now because I have a blog. No one, I don't think anyone's seen it yet, but it's there, ready to be promoted at any time. But I don't even have it. It's like separate from my website in a way.
Mm.
And so I thought about that, and I thought, now how do I connect this back to my website?
Yeah. So there's a couple of different things that you can do. The easiest thing that I would say is Squarespace. Squarespace makes it really easy. It's a $20, I think, subscription-based web builder. I used Squarespace when I first got started 4 years ago. So it's really great to get started. What I use now is WordPress, and I use a theme called Monstroid.
Now mine is on WordPress.
Okay.
It is.
What theme do you? What's on WordPress? Your website or your blog?
My blog.
Okay. So your blog is your website. If you have a separate website, that should be on your WordPress.
Oh, I do. It totally, because I got the GoDaddy, that website. Yeah.
Yeah, because everything should be one, obviously on the same thing. And then your blog should always lead to whatever else you have to offer. And that should always be in the same web domain.
Yeah.
Because that makes it, I mean, if you're leading someone to a different website, people are going to feel a little suspicious about that. And it's probably going to it is going to lower any chance of you getting someone to buy that core offer.
Yeah. So they need to be on the same.
So
and I don't think GoDaddy has a blog.
I don't think so either.
No.
And we can look at your website because I think we have about 30 more minutes, so we can go through your website. But you tell me. So I've done a lot of talking. Let's slow down. Let's take a breathe.
Okay.
Breather, and let me check in. What are you thinking and what are you feeling?
This is helping a lot. This is giving me a lot of clarity because I've heard, Lori, build your content. And I remember sitting here going, like what? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's great. And I understand that because you need that to build from. But this is giving me clarity as to what. So I think I've been working on, here's what I've been working on. I've been working on quick little one-page articles to have, because what I'd like to do, I would like to create my own private Facebook page that you have to pay a membership to get the access to. And I want to have a bunch of content in there, or have, I know another option is, hey, if you join this membership, you get, I think it takes you maybe to a page on a server which I can't even fathom that right now. That's too technical. I'd have to hire someone, I think, to do that, which is fine. So yeah, so I've just been kind of building content for that, so that I need to focus on my workshop. I really feel like I need to get that down.
What workshop?
I had this download of a vision for, and this, I don't know. So my workshop, would that be a core offer, or is that too big?
So what I would say is if your one-on-one or your group coaching is, okay, tell me what your workshop is first.
Well, it's gosh, I really think the content keeps growing. I think it's going to have to be 8 weeks, once a week. And it's all about.
Is this like group coaching?
It is.
Okay.
Yes. And
so, is this going to be your core offer?
Well, that's what I'm wondering right now. Because what it does, it takes people, and see, I went through, this is really cool. I went through a workshop, and God gave this to me for free, and it was last spring, and it was quote unquote how to get unstuck. And it was amazing. And it just gave me yet another example. It was 8 weeks. There was so much interaction. It talked all about mindsets and how to look at things differently, and moving forward. You had an accountability person each week, or someone to talk to. And it was really, really cool. It was all about awareness of where you're at, your thoughts, and all kinds of things. So I thought, you know what? I would like to do a 6 or 8 week workshop where I can help people. I just have it all in stages, like where we talk about your mindset. How do you look at food right now? And where did that come from? And it's a way to explore. I guide you, but you're kind of exploring this on your own as well. You know?
Is this in person or?
Well, I was thinking I would like to do it in person first, locally, to get some traction. And then take it online. Okay. You know, learn how to do this online.
So do you see what I'm writing? Do you see that on the computer?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to undo that. So I'm going to kind of build out this funnel for you and this business model for you. So you have your core offer. Excuse my poor writing. Okay, your core offer. You have your tripwire.
Mm-hmm.
Real lead magnet. Move this up. Then you have your extraordinary content.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's say your core offer is this 8 week, here, I'm just going to type it out. 8 week boot camp.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. That's your core offer. What your tripwire can be is a 2-hour workshop.
Ooh.
And this 2-hour workshop, at the very end, the last 20 to 30 minutes, says if you want to, this is where you go through the majority of, this is where you give them a ton of results. So you focus on like the most effective parts of the 8-week bootcamp, content-wise. So you show them exactly how to lose 20 pounds in 1 month, or whatever, the big result is that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, the last 30 minutes is, if you want to take this serious, if you know that something has to change, if you know you heard all this amazing stuff, you got really excited, but you're going to go home and you're going to open that tub of ice cream. If you know you're not going to take this serious, but you know you want to, sign up for this 8-week boot camp. Over these 8 weeks, I'm going to coach you. We're going to go through everything. We're going to do the store tour. We're going to do the pantry makeover. We're going to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So the 8-week is coaching, store tour. You tell me what else.
Yeah. It's all of, let's see. Well, I guess this would be in our coaching. It's your mindset with food. We go over nutrition, basic nutrition. Let's see, stress and what it does to your body. We're going to do a 3-day food diary. That'll be fun.
What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
I have clients, this is what we do first session, really, first or second, is I have them write down what they eat all day and when and how they're feeling. And that gives me an idea of where they're at right now, where we can improve. It helps me just see where they're at, and it helps them see where they're at.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah. Next thing would be the benefits of exercise. Time management.
Time management for what?
What are you doing with your time? Are you making the most of, where can you fit in exercise? Everyone's so busy. Where can you fit in meal prep? What are some simple ways to get some exercise into your busy life? Or just even carve out time for yourself to rejuvenate. Because when you're stressed, you want to eat. Then one week, I also just wanted for free time to have people just talk, where are you at right now? Write some things down, talk to each other. I can come around the room and answer questions you might have, or, give you a little bit of individual attention. Journal, let's see. And during all that, I was also going to check in with them, one-on-one, maybe to see where they're going or how they're doing. Can I help in any way?
All right. So let's see if I can move this.
Yeah, accountability, having them talk with each other, because it's really neat, because you can share, what, and Growth Buddies right now, I'm talking with 3 other women, our struggles, how we can help each other, that kind of thing. So I want to promote that, and that's what we did in that 8-week class that I took.
That's awesome. So here's your 8-week boot camp. And this is one-on-one coaching, real accountability, store tour, pantry makeover, food awareness, advanced nutrition secrets, get rid of all that stress, 3-day food analysis through journaling, benefits of exercise, getting rid of busy so you can exercise and eat healthy. That's the 8-week boot camp, right?
Yes.
Okay. How much do you want to charge for that?
Oh, that was a great question.
Let me ask you this. What's the number one result that they're going to get from this 8-week boot camp?
No, they will get to, definitely awareness of where they're at. They will be able to make better decisions regarding their health, lose weight.
How much weight? What's the maximum amount of weight somebody can lose in 2 weeks? Two months?
8 weeks safely, you could lose 16 pounds. You could lose, yeah. That's always regarded as safe.
So what about 20 pounds?
Yeah. That wouldn't be, depends on the person, of course, how much they need.
Sure. Okay. Lose up to 20 pounds.
There you go. Have more energy, for sure. Confidence in, really, it's empowerment. It's also about taking charge. It's about empowerment and taking charge of your life. Yeah.
How much is this worth? How much are other people charging for
Well,
you to be
like,
able to lose 20 pounds and do all this stuff?
The first thing that comes to my mind is $200, but I don't think that's enough, because this is a lot. It's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably shoot for 500.
So 500 divided by 8 weeks is what?
That's a great question. That is what, 125? Oh. Is it 6250?
Let's see.
No, divided by 8. 6250 a week? Yeah. Yeah.
Doing a quick Google search.
Yeah, I just I've got my calculator here, divided by 8. 6250.
So it's $62. Typical costs of an average hourly rate for a trainer, a personal trainer, is $60 to $70.
Mm-hmm.
That's for 1 hour per session. So per session. So you're doing way more than what a personal trainer does.
Yeah.
So what if we doubled that? And we did
Wow.
$120 a month. A week.
Okay. I don't. And advertise it that way?
Nope. No,
Okay.
we'll figure that out. Let's see. What's 120 times 8?
960.
So 960.
Which might sound better than 1,000 anyway.
Well, I'd say 997.
Okay.
Now, what's 997 divided by 12 months?
$83.
$83 a month. For 12 months, they're going to get all of this for 8 weeks. So you work with them for 2 months, but they pay you for 12.
Oh. Would that really work?
Absolutely. I signed up for a course that's 4 weeks. That was 4 weeks long. It was 2 hours per session for 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So it was only 8 weeks of content, and I paid $2,000 for it.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But I paid that over a 12-month period.
Okay.
So, and I think I'm still paying for it.
Yeah. 83. Boy, because that's nothing. I just wondered, do people, once the 8 weeks is over, do they change their credit card number so I can't keep charging, or, do you know what I mean?
I mean, you can definitely figure all of that specific stuff out. From my experience, they don't. And on top of that, I mean, they're signing contracts to do this, right? They're going through the whole process of doing this. So, I mean, if at the very end you can take them to small claims court, right, and just say, "You owe me money. I gave you what you offered."
Right.
Right. So they are. What you're doing is you're saying it's $1,000, but I'm making it incredibly affordable for you.
Yeah. Right.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this 2-hour workshop is say $17.
Oh.
Or let's say it's even $7. Doesn't matter how much this one is.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of this is to make them, is to turn them into a customer.
Yeah.
Now over this, remember we splinter it off from this.
Mm-hmm.
So can you see my mouse where I'm moving?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Because I'm saying this, but I don't know if you're actually seeing anything.
Yeah.
So let's say you did over this, let's draw.
And this could be a 2-hour pre-recorded grocery tour.
Mm-hmm. It could be a store tour and a pantry makeover.
Mm-hmm. 2 separate ones.
I would say all of this in one thing.
All in one. Okay.
Yep. And you make it like a super cool TV episode. Like I'm taking 3 people through a store tour and then going to their house and making over their pantry.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's $7. Now, you know, if somebody's willing to spend $7 on this, they're willing to spend this. They're more than likely willing to spend this for all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And then let's say your store tour, you did that checklist, and that would be your lead magnet.
Yeah.
Check. Oops. Didn't do. Checklist.
And that's where I would have the MailChimp and or whatever.
This is just the opt-in.
For free.
Mm-hmm. Now your extraordinary content, case studies, and how-tos. So think how-tos, how to buy the right type of corn, how to buy the right type of tomatoes, how to buy the right type of avocados, how to, how to do this one specific workout.
Mm-hmm.
You can make a whole ton of how-tos, and those are easy. And then do case studies of the people you're doing, the 10 people you do for free, simply to build your case study repertoire and that authority. So this would be your this would be your business for the first, say, 6 months.
Okay.
Now what you would do, so after that, essentially what you would do is you just build another core offer, because this is already taken care of. You'd record everything and you'd make sure that this can now run on auto after 6 months, and then you start building your next core offer, which is something a little more specific. And maybe this is, maybe at this point you start to think of families. How can families do it now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is a family core offer.
Ooh.
Right. So now you build this one. Now let's say you did that one. Another core offer you can do is, let's say, how to lose 10 pounds 2 months before the wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Over the next 2 months, I'm going to help you lose 10 pounds for your wedding. And that's focusing on that. And that's your niche. So a niche is not a group of people. That's what a lot of people think. It's like, well, I'm going to just choose a niche and it's going to be this type of person. And that's completely the wrong mindset. The right mindset when it comes to a niche is a group of people with a specific need. It's more need focused than person or type of person focused. So the need is to lose weight. That's your niche. Guess who needs to lose weight? Old people, young people, people who are about to get married, people who are about to have their anniversary, people who want to look good for their 30th birthday, people who are going on a trip, people who, there's so many types of people who want to lose weight, right? The teen who wants a 6-pack abs, the husband who wants 6-pack abs, There's a whole group of people who need who have that specific need, when you focus on the need, the group of people automatically come.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So if you focus on the need, which is this, because these are the results that you're promising. When people need to lose 20 pounds, who just think, what kind of people need to lose 20 pounds? People who probably just had heart surgery, people who want to lose weight for their wedding, people who are living on December 31st and thinking, I really need to lose weight this next year. People who want to have a nice summer body, right? I mean, there's a whole type of people that you can begin to market to when you focus on the need.
Yeah, people who just, I had a lady, she says, you know what? She was not overweight. And she said, I just don't feel comfortable in my jeans anymore. And I want to stop. I want to stop this from happening before it gets out of control. And I thought, I love that. That's perfect. That's the time to do it. Yeah. So just to feel comfortable.
So let me check in. What are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Oh, this is great. This is great. The next, then when my mind, this is just me, then my mind goes about 3 steps further and says, how do I video all this? So we're not there yet, obviously, but that's my next. And that's where I'm telling you, that is where, see if this makes sense to you, if I'm on track. Here's what I've learned with my relationship with God is when I start to do that, I'm like, Lori, stop it. Take every thought captive. Okay, that is in the future. You're not even there yet. Stop it. God will provide that for you. And I just back off. When I start to feel overwhelmed and to the point where I freeze and do nothing, I'd rather go watch TV or something to get it off my mind because I'm so stressed. That means I need to stop and I need to give it to God. Don't think about it. Do something else. Something else to the business where you know what you're doing, and He'll just take care of it. Does that sound?
So there are 2 things that I would say. The first is you're on the right track when you say give it to God, because that's obviously the right, like you obviously need to give it to God. Whenever you're having a challenge, whenever you're having an obstacle. The second part, I would say change that. Instead of stopping and giving it to God, give it to God and then push forward. And here's why. Action creates clarity. So if you give it to God and then say, I'll go back to it tomorrow, you're going to give it to God again. But you're giving it to God now so you can push through it.
Right.
If you are feeling stuck, the number one way to get unstuck is to talk to someone.
Okay. Right.
Number one way. Because they're either going to say, oh, I know exactly how to get unstuck. Or as you're talking to them, you're going to realize this is stupid. I need to just do it. Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I have found just every now and then when I leave something, I just walk away from it for a little bit. All of a sudden, I might get back to the same thing in a few days. And it just seems like I have a different perspective and I have this holy ease, I call it. And it just like it's just my time to work on it. And it's like, whoa, it was just my time to get that done.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that may be your learning curve, right? So for me, I have to, before I really master anything, I have to fail for 5 months. I have to just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and not know what I'm doing until finally I figure it out. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? Some people there are a couple different, let's see if I can come up with that board again. Okay, so there are a couple of different learning curves. How do I'll save that. All right, now I'm gonna erase part of this.
And I'm going to be able to see this again, right?
Yeah, so I just saved a copy of it, and you have the recording.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
That was awesome. I wrote some stuff down too.
awesome. So some people have learning curves like that. Some people have learning curves like that. And then some people have learning curves like that. Okay, so this learning curve right here, they start out good and then they hit an obstacle and they just go down, 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 down. And they have to kind of suffer through the learning process, and it sucks and it's hard and it's difficult. But as soon as they get it, there's a point, it's frustrating. There's a point where they just, oh my gosh, now it's easy and I can just figure it out.
Yeah.
That's some people. Some people, it's a little bit kind of a longer process. So they feel really good about it for, let's say, the first 3 months. And they're feeling good, but then they start slowing down slowly. They lose momentum and they get into this cycle of, well, I'm just going to quit. And then they quit for a while until they want to get back into it. And that's when they jump back and they go. But usually what happens is they come here and they land right back here. Then they lose momentum slowly and then they quit a little bit. Right. So that's kind of a cycle. Another one is right here where they hate it. They don't like learning. They don't like reading. But as they do it just slowly and consistently, they get better and better and better and better. There's no shot up. There's no drop down. It's just as they're consistently doing it, at some point they start getting better and better and better. So
wow. I like
that. Yeah, I like that one too. For some different, for different tasks and different things you do, it's going to be different. So for me, I learned how to play the piano by myself. And this was my learning curve right here. I just slowly did it and slowly got better. When I learned how to do online marketing, this was me right here. I hated life. This was the worst. But then I would say like there were 2 months where it was like, oh my God, everything's making sense. And this is like the best part ever. And I began to see results and it was really good. But I had to suffer through this for maybe 13 months right here. Right. And it was just horrible. And then this one has been me and exercise. Is I'll get really, really happy and really excited, and then I'll slow the momentum and eventually quit until I just get fed up and start again, and then I lose momentum. So I'm personally working through that. And that's most people with exercise, yeah. So being aware of your learning style is going to help you so much because you're going to recognize, okay, I need to slow down. I know in a couple of days, I'm going to get right back into it and I'm going to do everything I can and it's going to be easier. And, I've suffered through the part. Now it's in the prosperity part, right? I'm going to learn in abundance.
Yes. And I get frustrated to the point where I just can't stand it anymore. And I'm not learning anymore. And maybe that's when I back off. And in two days, maybe I have such a fresh outlook on that, and I'm rejuvenated and I have energy to it again. And I just look at it differently.
That's awesome.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know everybody's different and yeah. So, but this man, that's going to be very helpful.
So let me give you the first, second, third, fourth step. So you can leave with your head up high, not feeling overwhelmed, but knowing exactly what you need to do.
Yes.
Build your core offer.
Okay.
I would do some market research and ask people what their befores look like, discover what kind of language they use when they describe it. How do they feel? What's an average day they look like? And then figure out what that after story is. What is their biggest dream? What do they really desire? What is it that they really want? Do they want to be able to take their shirt off and have people look at them because they're attractive? They have a nice body, whatever the case is, right? Do they just want to have some extra energy to play with the grandkids? Do they want, whatever the case is. So figure out what the before is and write maybe a list of 50 things down. and then figure out the after, and then write 50 things down. And then figure out what amount of work, what kind of work is required to get them from before and after, and build that out, build that process out, build that, and that will be a core offer. What are the benefits? What are the features? You know, is there an assessment? Is there a questionnaire? Like, build all of that outline out. And then once you have a core offer, that's when I want you to present it to Growth Buddies and to a couple other people to get their feedback.
Awesome.
And now take some real time on this. The more time you spend on developing this, the more timeless it will be. So one of the big things that people get into is, and I found this with my book, is I wanted to write it in a month and just get it all done and just launch it. And as I began to write it, God really began to minister to me and told me, I need you to slow down. I need you to create something that's timeless, that lasts a long time, that's really well thought out. And so it's now taken me 6 months to write a book that was only supposed to take me 1 month. But I know once I launch it, people are going to love it. And there's going to be such an excitement around it, and people are going to get results from it. And 2 years from now, people will still buy the book because I spent some real time about it. So the more time you can develop on your core offer, the more long-term it will be.
Right. Awesome. So that'll be what I focus. This just giving me clarity on what to focus on right now is perfect.
Awesome. And then what's going to happen is 12 months from now, you're going to have a consistent online machine generating you money, and you're going to be able to look back and say, I can now quit, or I can now go part-time, or I can now, begin to slowly transition out, because you made a plan, you worked a plan, and you really developed a business and not just kind of a side hustle. Right.
Awesome. Present to Growth Buddies. Okay. And so market research, I'm just going to ask people. I could just ask them in person. And also, I think I can also go online and see. And also just in remembering, what my past clients what their concerns were.
And I would even talk to them, ask them. I would go to family members, I'd go to friends and ask them. I would ask them a series of questions. I would say, what would it be like? How would you feel if you could lose 10 pounds instantly? Like, you could just, by the snap of your finger, how would that change your life? And then they'll be able to say, oh my God, I'd feel so much better. I'd feel so much more confident. And then you can say, let's say you gain 10 pounds by the snap of my finger. How would that make you feel? And you're going to get the before and the after.
Oh, okay. I like that.
And then I would even ask them, how much would you pay if I could guarantee that you'd lose 10 pounds in 1 month? Ask them, how much is that worth to you? Because if you can get them to say a price, that's either going to confirm your price over the long run, or that's going to help navigate how you price your work.
Yeah, right.
And then let's say they say, I'd pay $100 a month. What you can say is, you can ask a follow-up question is, what would it take for me to charge for you to pay $150? What would have to be included for me to hire that price? And then they're going to tell you exactly, like, well, then you'd have to cook my meals for me, or whatever the case is, right?
Do grocery shopping.
Or do my grocery shopping. And then you can figure out a way to do their grocery shopping without doing their grocery shopping. Right?
Exactly.
So you'd figure out a way to say, I will do your grocery shopping with you. And how am I going to do that? I'm going to show you it. I'm going to go do the store tour where I'm going to go shopping, and you're going to buy exactly what I buy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going shopping with you, but it's a video that you pre-record.
Right. That's awesome. You know, another thing about store, so many people are buying groceries online that I can show people how to buy groceries online.
I think that'd be great because I have no idea how to do that.
Yeah, so many stores, at least in Ohio, there's like you can go on gianteagle.com, that's a grocery store here, and go to their buy shopping on, you know, you pick out what you want to buy. So someone goes through the store and gets your order for you, and you pick it up at curbside.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there, I thought, oh my gosh, we can do virtual. I can help you do a virtual tour if you're in another part of the country. It's very cool.
I think that's really, really cool. And I think, I mean, you have a pretty good plan, a good structure, and a pretty good step-by-step so far. So let me ask you, was the last 2 hours helpful?
Yes, very much so.
So let me ask, before I was talking to you, you mentioned that you had you knew what to do, but you really didn't, and then you kind of did. What was the change, or how do you feel now? What kind of change do you feel?
I have more what I needed, and I don't know why if you do this with everybody, but when you gave me the visual, you know, I had all these notes written, but when you gave me the visual of the CT, LM, and EC or whatever, that helped me a lot. I needed a visual, and I needed what to do right now. That has just helped a lot because I get all these ideas in my mind. I want them all done by tomorrow. Like you said, you know, you want to write your book in a month and be done with it, move on. And that's very much how I am. And so that has helped a lot, just to say, okay, slow down. We're going to focus on this because everything else. And then what you did is once I get the core offer down, here's what you branch off of it to get people to go back to the core. You know what I'm saying? This is, yeah. But see, what I was doing, I was going the opposite. I was trying to get the content, the lead magnet. I was trying to think of some things to give away for free on my site, because I've done it with other, you know, bought other people's stuff. I was going the complete opposite. I just realized that. I was working my way up to the 8-week boot camp. Do you see what I'm saying? So I was going the exact opposite, spinning my wheels, not getting, I guess, the right things done right now. So that was huge. That all just came together for me right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, most people start there. They start with the content and they have no idea how they're actually going to make money. I like to, with all of my clients, focus on how are you going to make money in the next 3 months? If we can make you some money, then we can figure out everything else, right? Because the bottom line is you just need more money. That's why you joined Growth Buddies. That's why you're on this call with me. That's why I know in the future you'll probably join the membership site because that's what it's going to help you do. I mean, I know that's what people want, is they want to be able to make money online, and they just want it very clear. They don't want all this shenanigans and these long webinars that don't tell you anything. They just want to know exactly how they're going to make money. And so I'm excited for you, Lori, because I know you're going to be able to make money. And I'm going to go on video now. I know you're going to be able to make money. I know you're going to be able to move forward. And I know that God is going to use you in such a powerful, mighty way.
That's what I'm praying for. Absolutely.
That's what you're working for as well.
Yes. Yes. Oh,
so
absolutely.
You're praying for it and you're putting in the effort. So.
Yes. Oh, heck yeah. But it's kind of fun because it's stuff you believe in. It's energizing, actually.
Yeah. And when you find that Christian that you want to work with, awesome, because then you get to pray. And I would say pray at the beginning of your sessions anyways, whether they're Christians or not. Just ask, hey, I hope it doesn't, I hope you don't mind. But I'm going to pray just because we can use all the help we can get. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
so true.
people are going to say, oh, cool, you're a Christian. That's awesome. And they're going to build even deeper relationship with you. Or they're going to huff and puff and leave. And you obviously don't want to work with them anyways if they're going to have that kind of attitude, right? So, all right. And then some people are going to be like, oh, cool, okay. I mean, I'm not a believer, but yeah, let's pray, right?
Okay, cool, let's try it.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, this is very helpful. I just, as I'm sitting here, I have this diagram written down. I'm like, oh, I was just going from the bottom to the top instead of the top to the bottom. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Lori, is
great.
there any other challenges or any other questions that I can help you with today?
Not now. You know, the next after this is all done, I'm just going to have to hire technical people. Do you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
who's going to do videos and all that. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to worry about that right now.
Don't worry about it. Just do what you got to do now.
Right. Exactly.
So I know you're part of Growth Buddies, and Growth Buddies is awesome. If you feel like you need any type of extra coaching, just let me know, and we can talk about what I offer as a coach for Christians. I'd love to be able to work with you on a deeper level, but work with what you have now. And then if you feel like, okay, I need a little extra help, let me know, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay. That's awesome. I appreciate it.
So this is what I want you to do right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to pray. I'm going to have you pray us out. And then right after we hang up, I want you to post in the public group and the private group, in the private Growth Buddies group. So I want you to post in my public, just Christian entrepreneurs, coaches, business leaders group. And I want you to post in both of them that you were on a call with me for 2 hours. And then I want you to answer these 2 questions.
Okay.
Before I got on a call with Sean, I ... I felt this way. I had these questions, et cetera, et cetera. After, I feel this way now.
Okay.
I want you to share your biggest takeaway. So don't share everything.
Yeah.
Just share your biggest takeaway and what you're going to do now because you've had this call.
Okay. Awesome. Okay. I can do that.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and pray, and we'll have a good night. Go ahead.
All right. All right. Thank you. Lord, thank you so much for this time. I know we had to reschedule a few times. Thank you so much for getting us our schedules coordinated to do this. And I pray that, Holy Spirit, you would bring to mind all that we went over in this 2-hour session. Remind me of slowing down, just focus on one thing at a time and doing it very well, and bring to mind what I'm supposed to do and what we talked about. Show me my next steps. I'm counting on you to help as I'm trying to help people in the kingdom with the talents that you've given me. I want to pray also to bless not only the work of my hands, and magnify that for your glory, and also just to make extra money and do this so that it can become a full-time career and a full-time ministry. But you also bless the work of Sean's hands and all the work he's putting into coaching with everybody, that you would magnify the results that we're seeing through him, and bless he and his wife, and just multiply all the efforts that he is pouring into all of us. Just thank you so much for running into him on Facebook, and for all my growth buddies, that we may strengthen each other and encourage each other as we all want to move forward to further the kingdom for you, for your glory. And I pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to reading your before and after, and I cannot wait to see you build this core offer and start making money.
All right. I know. That sounds awesome. I'm going to do
right.
it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk to you later.
Okay. Sounds good. Have a good rest of your weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.